There it is, the molar whip from the shoulder, as most people know it and describe it. It's much like the elbow, but once you get to this point, you keep bringing that stick up over your head, raising your shoulder, raising your arm actually at the shoulder, and bring the stick down. You have to be very careful with that stroke. You can hurt yourself. If you hold your sticks tight, you might as well be slamming your hand against a concrete wall, because you're going to hurt some tendons, bones, and muscles in your hands. You have to have a very loose grip on the stick to make that stroke. In fact, a lot of people who do that will let go of the stick with their fulcrum. They'll take their pointer finger and thumb off of the stick and hold it with just the back 3 or even the back 2 to allow the shock absorber in the hand to absorb the impact of that, because that's got a lot of force in it. You may want to try that to see how that feels. If you're doing that, then as soon as you do that, you're putting the fingers back on the stick to continue playing. That's what most people call the shoulder stroke in molar, or the molar whip from the shoulder. That's about the only application we have for the shoulder in drumming as a hinge point. We would never play fast single strokes from our shoulder. That would be absolutely ridiculous, unless you were putting on some kind of silly show, and I don't know what that would be. But the shoulder really is something you only use once in a great while when you really need to dig in for more power. I suppose you could use it for showmanship in a rock show. If you're doing a big rock show in an arena or something, you know, you want to look like you're really hammered down on the drum. You could probably do that. But again, that's not practical for playing. I don't know that I can say I've ever really played from the shoulder like that. I just have never needed that much volume. The volume I need for the musical expression I do, I can get from the elbow out. But maybe you need it from the shoulder. That's what it is. That's what the full molar from the shoulder looks like. Again, stick comes out here, elbow lifts up to here, stick pointed to the ground. Just keep bringing that up above your head. Can't even see it on the screen probably, I brought it up so high. And you whip that stick down to get force and momentum in the stick for more playing. However, the shoulder, I believe, gets used with the elbow when you need more speed in the molar technique. And by that I mean, if we're playing molar 4s, right now I have wrist and a little bit of elbow in my molar 4s. If I want a little more out of it, I'm going to lift a little higher. Now check this out. If I want more, I'm going to bring my elbows out and pump inwards. And you'll see a lot of guys who play molar do that. That elbow will come out to get more power behind the stick. And this is where I would argue that most of them will say, oh, that's elbow, but look what's hinging when you do that. It's hinging up here at your shoulder. When you pull your elbow out, this right here, your arm is moving away from your body. You don't move your elbow away from your body by itself. You have to rely on the shoulder to do that. And that's where shoulder becomes an important part of your playing. In the molar technique, when you are looking for more power behind the stick to get more speed out of the sticks, you lift that arm up just a little bit, not a whole lot. You don't need to come all the way up there. You just push that arm out and check out some other videos. You'll see what I'm talking about. A lot of the guys in molar are doing that. They might not realize it, they might not talk about it, but that's the shoulder hinge point. And that is working with the forearm, the elbow. At this point, all four are working. Your shoulder's hinging out, your elbow's hinging in, your wrist hinges down, stick comes up and down, the fingers open up, and then the fingers start to work in on the action. And you have all four of those hinge points working together to create music. That is the safe way to use your shoulder in playing, and the most effective way and the most productive way for a musical end without getting injured. Consider that. I got one more video for you. I'll put it all together. I'll show you how all four work together, and that will cover it for the hinge points.